So today our topic because sparrow extinction. Have you ever nowadays are you able to look a sparrow? Why? What's the reason you are not able to look nowadays? Let's see what's the actual reason. The decline or extinction of a sparrow species, particularly the house sparrow, Passer domesticus, is a concerning phenomena observed in various regions, especially in urban environment. Several factors contribute to this decline, and while sparrows are not yet extinct, their population has decreased significantly in certain areas. Here are the key reasons behind. Let's see. Loss of habitat, urbanization, rapid urban expansion and modern architecture design are reducing the availability of nesting site for a sparrow. Traditional buildings with a small services and ledges used by sparrow for nesting are being replaced by modern structure with fewer places for the bird to make their home. Green spaces. The loss of garden, parks, and green spaces due to urban development means the sparrow have fewer area to forage for food and breed. Decline in food sources. Insect scarcity. Sparrows, particularly when feeding their young, rely heavily on insects like caterpillar and aphids. Pesticide use in agriculture and urban areas has led to a drastic reduction in the insect population, depriving a sparrow of this vital food source. Let's see change in diet. The seed and grain that a sparrow commonly consume are also less available in urban areas due to cleaner street and better waste management practices. Human food waste, which they once fed on, has been reduced in modern cities. Populations. Here population high level of population, particularly in cities, have been linked to a sparrow decline. Airborne pollutant and affect the bird respiratory system and overall health as well as reduce the number of insects they depend on for feeding their chicks. Electromagnetic radiation. This is also region. Some studies suggest that increased exposures to electromagnetic radiation from mobile phone towers may interfere with the sparrow's navigation abilities and reproduction success, though this remains a topic of debate. Predation. Domestic cats. In many urban areas, the population of domestic and stray cats has increased, which poses a significant threat to sparrows. Cats are skilled hunter and prey small birds, including sparrow. Other predators. Besides cat, sparrows are also vulnerable to larger birds of prey, such as hawk and falcon, which have adapted to living in urban areas. Climate change. Unpredictable weather, climate change in alternating weather patterns leading to more frequent and intense storms, heat waves, and droughts. These changes can disrupt sparrow breeding cycles, reduce food availability, and destroy their habitat. Shift in migration. For migratory sparrow, climate change may cause disruption in their migration pattern, leading to mismatch between their arrival and the availability of food in new locations. Competitions with other species. Invasive species. In some regions, invasive bird species like starling and pigeon have become dominant in urban environment, competing with a sparrow for food and nesting site. Aggressive competitor. In places like North America, house sparrows are often displaced by more aggressive birds such as the European starling, which take over nesting spaces. Agriculture practices. This is also the region. Monoculture crops. Modern agriculture practices often involve large-scale monoculture where single crops are grown over vast area. These crops may not provide sufficient or diverse food sources for a sparrow, unlike the more diverse farmland of the past. Pesticide. The widespread use of pesticide in farming not only reduce insect population but also contaminate food sources for sparrow, leading to lower survival and reproductiveness. Change in human habit. Feeding habitat. In past, sparrow benefit from human activities like farming and grain storage, which provide easy access to food. With industrialized agriculture and change in waste management, sparrow no longer have the same easy access to grain and the food is scarce. Noise pollution. This is also the reason increased noise in cities may affect sparrow communication, breeding calls, and ability to detect predator, and aiding to stress of living in urban environment. Reproductive challenges. This is also a decreased breeding success. A combination of pollution, lack of food, and predation can lead to lower breeding success. Fewer young sparrows survive to adulthood, contributing to population decline. Delayed reproduction. If a sparrow faces poor conditions, they may delay breeding or produce smaller broods, which lead to slower population recovery. Global trends. Sparrow decline has been particularly noted in Europe and part of Asia, but the reason behind it can vary by region. For instance, in India, the urbanization of cities like Delhi has led to a sharp reduction in sparrow number, whereas in the UK, house sparrow are now conservation concern due to their declining population since 1970. Conservation efforts can be, we can say, some cities and countries are actively working to help sparrow populations recover. Effort includes providing nesting site, installing sparrow nest boxes in the urban areas, and promoting architecture that allow for natural nesting site. And another, we can say, promoting green spaces, encouraging the preservations of garden, parks, and hay grow, which provide food and shelter for a sparrow. Reducing pesticide use. This is, if you use, we can overcome to extinction sparrow. Encouraging the use of organic farming method and reducing pesticide application in both agriculture and urban setting. Public awareness campaign. This is also essential or necessary. That's initiative like World Sparrow Day celebrated on March 20 help raise awareness about importance of sparrow and their conservation. We finding here conclusion that while the extinction of sparrow is not imminent, the significant decline in many urban and rural areas serve as warning sign. The complex interplay of habitat loss, food scarcity, population predations, and climate change has all contributed to decline. Conservation effort must continue to protect these small resilient birds and restore their populations before the situation become critical. So I think you're able to understood obviously what is the reason about extension and how to preserve. So we can also preserve obviously. So I would like to end the session and I will connect again another video. So thank you. Nice to meet you.